Hi, I'm the Jazz London radio presenter Richard Carabine, and I'm delighted to have the opportunity to interview Tomás Doncker today. Tomás is a New York R&B producer, singer, songwriter, musician, and indie label CEO. He's been a prime mover on the New York music, arts, and culture scene for many years. He's worked with the likes of Bootsy Collins, Ivan Neville, Patti Smith, The Specials, and Michelle Ndegeocello, and he's releasing a new EP in July, Hard is Hard, with his band, the True Groove All Stars. The EP embraces soul, blues, funk, rock, and jazz. And he'll be touring the UK in July and August, and then the UK and Europe in the autumn, supporting fun-loving criminals. But before we hear from Tomás, let's listen to his new single, The Ace of Spades.
Your man, you win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. Pleasure is to play, makes no difference what you say. I don't share your greed. The only card I need is the ace of spades. The ace of spades. Playing for the high one, dancing with the devil, going with the flow. It's hard a game to me. Seven or 11. Snake eyes watching you. Double up or quit, double stake or split. It's the ace of spades. The ace of spades. You know I was born to lose, and gambling's for fools. But that's the way I like it, baby. I don't wanna live forever. And don't forget the joker. You see, I'm pushing up the ante. I know you got to see me. Real and sweet. The dead man's hand again. See it in your eye. Take one look and die. The only thing you see, you know it's gonna be the ace of spades. The ace of spades. The ace of spades. The ace of spades.
Well, hello, Tomás. Thanks for giving up your time to talk to the Jazz London radio listeners.
Oh, Richard, thanks for having me, man. I really appreciate it. Peace, everybody. You know,
Yeah,
real.
I'm really looking forward to getting some answers to these questions.
Okay. So am I.
The first one is, what made you decide to create your own version of the Ace of Spades?
Yeah, you know, well, okay, so who doesn't love Ace of Spades, right? I mean,
Yeah.
even if you're not necessarily, I know I have friends, colleagues who they're not necessarily into like metal or heavy rock or anything like that, but they love Ace of Spades because it's just a badass tune. And Lemmy's just a badass dude. It's just like, you know, and I mean, he certainly cornered the market on rock and roll cool, you know what I'm saying? Just
Yeah.
that transcended the genre, you know what I mean? But I mean, this is a song that I slash we all grew up with. We all know Ace of Spades. I mean, it's just one of those songs, you know. And man, I just thought to myself on a lark, you know, as a goof, like, oh man, wouldn't it be fun to do like a blues version of Ace of Spades? Ha ha ha. This is like many, many years ago, okay?
Yeah.
Then I don't know, just after the pandemic, I was in a car with someone and Ace of Spades came on. And of course, we're driving down the highway, so you know they turn it up. You know what I mean? You're in the car, it's like, "Ah." And for the first time, I was able to really kind of half. I mean, it's hard to understand Lemmy, right? You can't really, you know, he's not exactly Frank Sinatra of
No.
diction, but you know, rock and roll is not designed that way. But nonetheless, I kind of started hearing what the lyric really was. Then I thought, oh, maybe my little silly idea wouldn't be so bad after all. Fast forward. I'm here in London. What was it, 5 months ago? I mean, this is all relatively recent, okay?
Yeah.
And I was working on the final, you know, pieces of the Hard is Hard EP and ultimately album. And I just thought, oh, I could use another cover on the record. Oh, what about Ace of Spades? Not really expecting, you know, I'm just throwing up ideas, right?
Yeah.
And so I went and I looked up the lyric and I was blown away. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, so then I started to, to play it on my acoustic really slow. Like John, I imagine what would John Lee Hooker do?
Mm.
How would John Lee Hooker play this song? And then as I'm doing it, I was like, oh wow, this could be a Willie Dixon song.
Wow.
You know, it could be a Willie Dixon song, just in terms of um, I don't know if you're familiar with the song Wang Dang Doodle. I
Oh
don't know
yeah.
if the audience knows
Sure.
that, but it's a legendary song. It's covered by one of my favorite blues artists, Howlin' Wolf. And Willie Dixon wrote it. And Etta James had a no, was it Etta James or was it? Yeah, Etta James had a hit with it. It's just it's about basically it's about a culture, a world where things happen. Okay, and in the song it describes various characters who move throughout this world. Well, that kind of entry into a songwriting idea. Well, Ace of Spades is like, you know, all of a sudden you've got this narrator. You know, the first thing he says is, if you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You know, you win some, lose some. So, you know, it's very easy when you speed it up 5 times faster, it goes by you. You don't really hear what he's saying. I mean, on some level, it's almost sympathy for the devil, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just kind of in that story song thing. And it's a brilliant lyric. It's a
Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant lyric that is so steeped in the Delta blues tradition. I mean, it really I invite and encourage anyone to look up the lyrics for Ace of Spades for real and read it as a piece of poetry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's brilliant. At that point, I was just like, oh, this is
Yeah.
where I live.
You
You
certainly
know,
made your own version of it. It's totally different, isn't it? It's a different song under you.
I mean, believe it or not, you know, I appreciate that. Thank you. You know, that's the um, that is the to me the secret of or the art of covering other people's material. You
Mm.
have to see yourself in it. If you can't see yourself in it, then there's really no point in doing it,
Yeah.
you know? And as soon as I understood the story of the lyric, I, I was like, I can sing this song, you know, I can sing this song. And yeah, I mean, just slowed it down a bit so people could hear the actual
Yeah.
arc
Well, in fact,
of
in
the
that way,
song.
it's better because probably most people don't know the lyrics because
I've
they
already
can't
had a
hear
lot of
them. Yeah.
compliments already. People like, wow, I didn't know that's what this song was about. I was like, yeah, it's kind of heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's not
Oh, well, it
just,
works.
there's a lot of depth to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's rock and roll, right? When you put it on, it's like, all right, it's nice. Okay. And you're not even thinking about it. It's just a cool thing to say, but really,
Mm.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's quite well, thank you, Lemmy. I mean, it's a classic. It's
Thanks,
just
Lemmy.
and
Yeah.
and the thing about it, Richard, is that a well-written song will do that. Anyone can sing it. It transcends the original genre in which it was presented. It can be morphed into many different. I mean, look at some of the great cover songs that have been covered in different ways in the course of musical
Sure.
history. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
because they're just great. They will stand up. You know what I mean? If
Well,
it's a
it's a good. I think.
well-constructed song.
I think it's the first track on the EP, isn't it?
It's the last
Oh,
track
it's the last track. Oh, maybe I listened
on
to
the
it
EP,
in
actually.
the wrong
Yeah,
order, but it
yeah.
works. It really does work.
Oh, thank you so much. And we love performing it
Yeah.
too. It's really because it's funny. We premiered it at the 100 Club, and the place was jam packed wall to wall. And I said some quick anecdote, because no
Mm.
one has any idea, right, that we're going to play Ace of
Yeah.
Spades. And so we start on this groove, and everyone's like, "What?" Because the groove is cool. And I'm, if you like to gamble, and people, they don't win some. Wait, well, I know that. What is? And by the time I get to the Ace of Spades, people are, oh my God. And one of the proudest moments I've had with this song already is that we did 2 nights at the 100 Club, and there's a lot of old school Motorhead rock and roll guys were there,
Yeah.
and they came up to me and one guy said, he patted me on you know what, mate, you really did let me proud with that. And I was like, thank God, I'm glad
You got
you
away with
liked
that.
it.
You got away with that one then.
Yeah, right. Right, exactly. Because people like what they like, and they like, it's just
Yeah.
you start toying with their memories.
Mm.
It's like they can be not as quite as welcoming, but
No.
the response to it has been really
Oh,
good.
fantastic. Can you
Yeah,
tell us a little bit about your new EP, Hard is Hard? Is there a theme running through it?
hard is hard. Oh my God. Yes, Richard. Okay, so the EP, which is coming out, well, I'm not so sure when you're going to be airing all this, but it comes out July 4th, which is tomorrow,
Right.
and that is not an accident, um, for reasons which we'll uncover later. Um, uh, yeah, it's a riff oh boy, I mean, how much time do we have here? Because I'll try to make it. I'll try to, I can go on, Richard. I'm sorry. I'll try to compress. So when
Right.
I was a kid,
Yeah.
there was a store around the corner from my house. It was a bodega, a
Yeah.
corner store, and they used to sell weed in the store. And it was the first time I had ever seen this. The weed was branded. It had a name,
Oh. Mm.
and on the little bitty manila envelope, a little $5 bag, it said hardest hard. HARDEST, hardest hard.
Mm.
And so you couldn't buy the weed from the store. You had to walk in the store and say, "Yeah, can I have a Coca-Cola and a hardest hard?"
Yeah.
Right? It was code, right? Because you can't walk in and say, "Hey, can I buy some weed?" I mean, someone might get arrested, right? In those days. And so I was just, reminiscing one day, just sitting, just daydreaming, thinking back. I'm 26 years sober now. Okay, so that's a long. I mean, I think I was 15. Okay, I mean, it's a long time ago.
Yeah.
I thought that's really cool. When we live in this world of branding, it's like here's this guy way before the whole branding phenomenon or whatever it is. He was actually branded his little bags hardest heart, hardest. That's so cool. That's a really cool name for. And then I went, hard is hard. I just said it. And then all, I mean, everything from like, the news and social media and our global socio-political situation, the various military conflicts that are going on around the world, the, you know, homelessness, poverty, starvation, it all came flooding in. Like, and I was like, oh, then of course, this hopefully this is not too boring an insight into like what motivates me. There's a great Curtis Mayfield song and it's on the album. I forget, I think I think the album called, is it called Welcome to America? I forget the name of the album, but on the cover, it's got a mural painting of people in various hard situations. I'm sure you're
Yeah,
familiar with the album, right?
yeah.
And I believe on the album, there's a song down there, if there's a hell below, we're all gonna go, And I just thought Curtis Mayfield, he would be commenting on this stuff right now. This is what artists, it's part of our responsibility, I feel.
That's
It's
interesting
not.
because I had a question that was going to come later, which is related. I was thinking about your lyrics, and you're looking at racial inequality, social injustice, the importance of keeping a positive mental attitude. Do you feel a certain responsibility to explore these issues and share your views with
Well, okay, listen, I'm
fans?
I'm not always doom and gloom or whatever. I
No,
can I like to have fun with music too, you know. But and here we are, post Glastonbury, right, where we've got Kneecap and Bob Villain, who I had never heard of Bob Villain,
no,
but
I hadn't.
and Amon and the Sniff, it's, and I'm not necessarily agreeing or disagreeing with anything that these artists said or did. Okay, anybody, so don't align me with that. But the idea of music being a cultural touchstone or pulse point, or at least a jump off for some kind of discussion, discourse between people,
Mm,
you know, that has gone away for quite some time,
yeah,
and music has become, without me moaning and groaning, it's become sonic wallpaper, and it's just kind of like, well, where are the artists who are going to talk about important things? As well as Baby I Love You and Let's Dance. Yeah, I mean, it's all important, right, to the human condition, but you can't ignore what's going on in the world, man. You can't. As what is it? Is our role as artists is to reflect and hopefully elevate and illuminate our times. I believe, I forget who said that, but that's some much smarter than me person's definition of what an artist is supposed to do. So yes, and that's to your question, Richard. I do feel that I need to address things, my world, the world, how I see things, and uh, a certain portion of my work has been about that. Some of it very specifically about that.
yeah.
You know, the Hard is Hard EP and then ultimately the album is a mix of things. Not to let the cat out the bag, but the full album is coming out in September when we hit the road with Fun Loving Criminals.
Oh,
Um,
wonderful.
and the B side is all down tempo, like chill. It's
Yeah, yeah.
completely different. Okay. And I'm looking forward to releasing. We're going to release that as an EP on its own as well, and then the full record. So you really have A side and a B side. It's two different. There's some socially, tense stuff on the B side, but there's love songs. Yes, I have been in love in my life. I have experienced love, Richard, believe it or not.
Well, I'm pleased to hear that, Thomas.
And the lack thereof and the search for and you know, but yeah, man, I appreciate you asking the question. Um, it's great to see Bruce Springsteen stepping up, you
Yeah.
know, because he's the guy. I mean, at least as far as the American perspective is concerned, he would be the guy to step up, post Bob Dylan, if you will. He's got he's got that platform, and it's nice to hear him, nice to see how he's, telling the story. Because somebody like that in music, right? In music,
Yeah.
you know. Um,
Well, it's great
anyway,
to
yeah,
hear.
yeah.
Yeah, it's great to hear lyrics like that that relate to our daily lives and the problems there are, because so often they are just about love and money and cars and things. So,
Yeah, it's like, how many songs do we have about money? No one's got any money, right?
yeah,
No one's got any money, but everyone acts like they got money on a record. It's like okay, we can all dream,
yeah.
but so anyway, yeah. Thanks for asking, man.
Oh no.
It's something I do feel a responsibility,
Oh well,
I'm hoping that I'm doing it gracefully and not just beating people over the head. I'm trying to have
no.
fun with it and be entertaining. You know what I mean? I don't want to preach to people about what they should
No.
already know.
You're always entertaining.
Oh, thank you, Richard.
Um, I've seen you a couple of times in concert with different musicians both times, and I'm just thinking about your band, the True Groove All Stars. Does that suggest that it's not a, a fixed group of musicians rather than a collective?
It's an army. So,
Ah,
sorry, 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 sorry to use the military reference. Let me back up. Yes, it is a collective. Okay, I have musicians on either side of the Atlantic. Um, we mix and match as possible. They've all worked together. It's a real family, the True Groove family.
well,
I am very grateful um, that I have so many geniuses at my really am. So collective is a funny kind of word. But yeah, I mean, people, if I could liken it to anything, anyone who I admire, like Bon Iver, you know,
yeah,
Justin and them, people think of Bon Iver as a collective, but really it's Justin, and he brings in the people who he wants to work with, who he feels
yeah,
comfortable with. And not unlike a Scorsese movie, you see the same characters, the same people, because this is just, hey, these are my pals, these are people I
yeah,
want to work with. You know what I mean? So yes, it's collective.
yeah.
It's not like it's the Who, and you're going to see the same three people
No.
every time. You
So
know.
that's important to you, is it? They're friends, you get on with them. It's not just about picking the best musicians for your.
Oh no, it's not about man. This is about character.
Yeah,
It's about character.
yeah,
We're trying to. Our intention is to transcend. Music is just a delivery system. You know. It really is. We happen to play music. That's what we do. So okay, so what? What are we trying to express and share with people? And that is a prerequisite to being a true groove all-star.
right.
You
Okay.
got to understand that that's what we're doing. We're not trying to, all due respect, man. And it's a lot. I mean, I have unlearned or forgotten more about playing the guitar since I was 12. Here I am, I'm playing so much less, you know, but I believe the music I'm making has gotten better
Yeah,
and more powerful, potent, because I understand what it is. You got to grow into it, man. I mean, look at Bob Dylan, man. Bob Dylan, one of the greatest of all time. Guy's not much of a guitar player. He's not much of a singer. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And if you isolate the lyrics are cool. He's a poet. I give him that. But he puts it all together, and it's literally magic.
mm,
You're just like,
yeah,
whoa. That's because he understands what he's trying to do with music. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is the cornerstone of great art, period. You know, I mean, here you go, and I'll shut up after this. Jackson Pollock. Gee, this looks like a guy throwing paint on the wall. Or is it? You know what I mean? It's just like
Yeah.
no one had ever done that before. So now people are looking at things differently. So anyway, yes, it's a collective,
All right. Okay. Well, thanks
you
for
know.
that.
Yeah.
So will you be touring with the same group of musicians in the summer tour as with the Fun Loving Criminals in the autumn tour? Or will they
Yeah.
it'll be the same?
Yeah. It'll be the same crew.
And will you be
Which
playing the
is
same sets in the two?
you'll have to
Or
come to every show,
oh
Richard,
right, okay.
and see. Okay. No, there will be some overlap, of course.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you we'll be playing Ace of Spades every night.
Yeah.
That's for sure. But
I'm pleased to hear it. Yeah.
okay. But no. We've got a pretty deep, you know, collection of material that we can draw from.
Yeah.
Um, it will be varied. We don't. It's nice to change it up. It keeps it fresh. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Not completely radically different sets. But different tunes here and there, and we're hoping that over the course of the fall UK and EU tour, we'll be able to record a bunch of shows and uh and put together something special like a live album, like an
Wow.
old school live album. You know what I
Fabulous.
mean? Why not? You know? So that's what we're doing, you
I'll look
know.
forward to that.
Yeah. You
How did
know.
you link up with the Fun Loving Criminals?
Oh man. Frank, Fast, Naeem, let me tell you something, man. These guys, they're amazing guys, and Frank Frank Bambini is I tell you, he is he's my hero. I don't think there's anybody who this guy is so talented, man. He is so talented and he is so driven. I am in awe of him. And
Wow.
not to pat myself on the back, but people
Mm.
say that about me, like, Jesus, Tomas, like you just are always doing. Well, I mean, I love music, number one. I do music, number two. In order to have a life in music, art, and culture, you need to be in this. Anyone who's outside of it doesn't you can't explain to them how seemingly impossible this whole quest is. You got to really love music because there are better ways to make a living,
Sure.
if that's what you're trying to do, you know, um, and to meet somebody who is just really, I mean, this guy's going at he's got a movie coming out. Have you heard about that?
No.
Hmm. The movie is called To Be Frank.
All right. Good name.
Filmed over the last 10 years about where he's from, what he has to do in order to it's it's premiering in September. I had no idea. He just announced it like a week ago. I'm just like, what? He's got a movie too. He's also like a member of UB40,
Oh wow.
right? He's got his own project, Uncle Frank. He's got Fun Loving Criminals, of course, and now he's putting out a movie. I'm just like, but that's what it takes.
Yeah.
If you are an artist in the modern world, that's what you do. You make art and you share it. Boom, and then you're on to the next thing. So anyway, you asked me how I met up with him. Most of the band over here is from Leicester. They all knew him. They all grew up together, and most of the band are members of the Specials family. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm riding with very, very potent and heady company. I'm very grateful for that. And they just in the course of things, I was introduced to Frank, and it was just very natural. And then I just said, "Hey, I'm doing this song on my record. Maybe you'd like to, do some chat on it, just some simple, just and he's like, yeah, okay, man, send me the track. And then 3 days later, he's like, I hope you don't mind. I played some drums on it. I'm like, what? And it's like boom, right? It's like, oh my God. And then we just, and we just hung out a little bit. He came and did some shows with us, man. The guy he lives and breathes music, and Fun Loving Criminals. I haven't met a person who doesn't love Fun Loving Criminals.
Yeah.
They are just so beloved, man. You know what I'm saying? I tell people, yeah, I'm gonna be doing support for Fun Loving Criminals. Really? I love them. I'm like, yeah, I get it. Because they're that kind those kinds of musicians. They're putting out goodness to people. You know what I'm saying? And that exists, that lives on. It's not about having, and you know what I mean. It's just
Yeah.
it's
Sounds
just
a great
really.
tour, the two bands together.
I am honored.
Look forward to
I am
seeing it.
beyond honored. I can't even tell you, man. And
I didn't really know Frank Dembini. I knew of Huey Morgan.
right. Well, Huey left the band, I think 5 years ago,
Oh,
something
well,
like
I'm
that.
I'm only 5 years out of date then.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of people are just not figuring that out. But they're a great band, just great. And I'm honored to be associated with them. And it's not, in this world of the dreaded AI and all that stuff that's looming around our existence, our artistic existence, it comes down to like, what lasts? A great band lasts.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just I'm not gonna, well, you can't AI a David Bowie, and you can't AI a Rolling Stones. You
No.
can't do it. It just won't happen. I mean, those are
Yeah.
just two. You can't AI Albert King. You know what I mean? It's just not gonna happen, man. So like, if the audience or any part of the audience can appreciate the humanity, you know, in real and true artistic expression, for example, like the fun-loving criminals. If you can appreciate that, there's only one place to get it.
Yeah.
You know, you got to go to the source. You know, and that was my sneaky way of bringing in how I feel about AI. I don't have a problem with it, man. It's a tool. It's a tool that can be used. I've used it for various functions in my life. It's fine, but when it starts to take over, man, it's just kind of like, whoa, what are we doing? As a humanity, not just musicians, as a humanity, why are we, it's like we are just shooting ourselves in the foot as human beings. I don't get it.
Do you think it's a threat to musicians?
You know, I'm not threatened by it because I can understand what it is and I can appreciate what it can be helpful for. See,
Yeah.
AI is never going to manipulate me. I'm going to use AI as a tool, you know,
Yeah.
but just like man, it's like, not everything new is good, right?
Sure.
You know, people always think, oh, it's brand new. Okay, and what was wrong with what was already there? I think we have now, however many years down the road, musicians at any rate have realized, okay, here you go, Richard. If you want to edit this out, feel free. Okay.
Yeah.
So here we are, however many years down the, I mean that, okay, really, you may not want to even put this in there.
Sure.
Here we are, many years down the road, post Napster, you know, and we're living in this streaming world. Everything is streamed. It started with music, and now like the value of music to a musician, to an artist, is essentially zero. We do not make money. We have to find ways to create revenue streams. Okay.
Yeah.
But my song, as it is worth less than like 1/100th of a penny. Literally, that's the going rate for a song. not just my song, anybody's song. That's what it's worth. Meanwhile, Daniel Ek, the head of Spotify, just invested $600 million in military AI development. But wait a minute.
Yeah.
I can't quote the numbers, but I'm sure you've seen the numbers. I know people have seen the numbers. The amount of money that he makes is extraordinary.
Wow.
What about us musicians? We don't make it. We don't even get any money for art. I don't get it. I mean, how did that ever happen?
I know some artists. I saw this year they only sold their albums at gigs and through Bandcamp because they didn't want their music to go onto YouTube and to be streamed.
Yeah, a lot of people now are actually stepping up and just taking their music off of Spotify for real. Neil Young
Yeah.
did it for a minute,
Yeah.
but he's Neil Young, so I'm sure they worked out a deal with Neil Young. I get it, but
Mm.
I'm on the fence with it, man. I'm going to, for whatever it's worth. I mean, it's not like I'm streaming 9 million streams a day. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
just kind of like I don't want any part of it, man. If it's about doing something positive with music, and then the end result is this one dude who's making all this money off of our music, and he takes his profit off of our music and does that with it. It's just something inherently not good about that, man. It's just not, I don't think I have to even discuss it. It's just, is that right?
No.
Well, it's his money. He can do whatever he wants with it. Yeah, okay. But I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? The conversation, it goes on and on and
Sure.
on and on. Meanwhile, you know,
Yeah.
meanwhile, rent's going up, clubs are closing. So what happens to music?
Yeah. We're only really beginning to find out. I mean, it'll take.
Right,
Yeah. We don't really
right.
know.
No, we're at the top of a slope right now. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Can I just
yeah.
ask you about your music? You embrace so many different genres, and I'm just wondering, do you deliberately seek to move in different musical types of, or does it just come naturally to you? Is it something that you were born into the big melting pot in New York?
Look, um, it's a fair question. I appreciate you asking it. I've been asked this many, many times before. Um, I will start here. I believe it's either Ray Charles or Duke Ellington or one of those guys. They said, as far as genres are concerned, there's only two kinds of music, good and bad. If you can tap your foot to it, it's probably good in some way.
Yeah.
I make that kind of music.
All right.
I make good music. That's where I reside with the whole genre thing. Okay. I am I am past trying to get people to just admit what they already know about anything. Something gets put in front of you and you go, oh my God, it's amazing. You know it's not amazing. So don't say it's amazing. Take a moment, listen to it, decide if you like it.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it, but not everything's amazing. Not everybody's an artist. Not everyone is a producer. It's not possible. Okay.
Sure.
This is the world we live in. Things are just like, oh, it's like, come on, man. It's not it. So as far as me and genres are concerned, all due respect to your question, I am a child. I mean, the first two records I ever owned were Sergeant Pepper and the Jackson 5 Get It Together. I got them for my 10th birthday.
Yeah.
Now before that I had like, James Brown 45s and all that kind of stuff. And because I was still a kid, I only had 45s. When I got a little bit older, my mother, it was a big deal. I got to albums. I'm grown now. I could get albums. And that says a lot about me. Then you fast forward and you get, Sly Stone and Funkadelic. And
Yeah.
what are you going to call that? What genre is that? It's just great. It's just great. Now hopefully we can get back to some sort of mechanism in music, be it well, people like you doing interviews and things to help clarify. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You say like I pop between genres. No, I don't really. I make Tomas music. It's just good music. That's it. It's not rock. It's not funk. It's not soul. What it is soulful.
Yeah.
If that was a genre, I'd be happy with that. Soulful. There's nothing empty or vapid about what we do. But what would you call Sly and the Family Stone? What is that?
Funk? More than funk.
Is it really? It's number one pop record.
Mm.
For years, he rewrote the structure of pop music. You see what I'm saying? George Clinton.
Yeah.
Okay, that's that. Okay, that you call that funk. But if you're listening to it, if you're familiar with his category, his catalog, some of it's heavy metal.
Mm. Yeah.
You know, I mean, some of it's doo-wop. You know, it's just great. It's just great. David Bowie, oh my God, one of my favorite artists of all time. Every record, who's doing something different. You know, Young Americans, R&B record.
Yeah.
What's this guy doing making an R&B record in Philadelphia? You can't do that. Of course I can. I'm an artist. I do whatever I want. What do you call it? Doesn't matter what I call it. Do you like it? Then play it.
So you've
You know?
absorbed all these influences and they just come out in you.
I mean, it's just like I like music, man. I
Yeah.
love music, so I
Yeah.
take stuff in, right?
Yeah.
You know, and it's just what happens. I'm not thinking about, well, gee, you know, I'm a black guy, so I've got to play this kind of music. You know, or I'm a guitar player, so I've got to play like music that's so guitar. It's just, you know, like I said, all due respect to your question, it's a valid question. You know, when you come across my work, you know, if anything, I would say it is soulful.
Yeah.
Put me in the bin under soulful, okay? Not soul.
Not so.
It can be. Some days it is soul, you know, but it always is soulful. I hope I answered your question, Richard. I didn't mean to
You
that
did.
way.
You did, Thomas. Thank you. Thank you
You
very much.
know, it's a tricky question. You
Yeah.
know, it's kind of like, you know. But,
I was surprised to hear that you'd moved to London. I hadn't realized.
ah,
I knew you'd been going to and fro from the States to here, but I hadn't realized you'd moved here. What happened?
as of the recording of this interview, I have been living in London for about 2 weeks.
Ah, right. Is that a
And I
permanent move, or is that just for the CU? Or
is it a what move? What?
is it a permanent move, or
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah?
Yeah.
Was that in response to the elections, the presidential
Ah,
elections last
thank you
year? Was
for going that far. Richard. Look, man. First of all, God bless the Brits. Y'all across the board, people in the UK and in Europe in general, love music, all kinds of music. Music has it's a destination. You know, if given a choice of staying home and watching Netflix and ordering in pizza, or going down the corner to the pub and see this band that's coming through, people are going to go down to the pub, have a pint, and check out the band.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I need to be. Okay. That's a place where music is alive. The conversation about music exists. The interest in music as a galvanizing spark for discussion or conversation or inspiration. It is alive and well in the UK. That's the place where I have, because that's me. That's what I'm about. You know, America has never really loved music. Okay, some of the greatest music in the world has come from America, but Americans never really loved music. Okay, they're happy about it. They'll take it for granted, like they take everything for granted. You know, but they don't really support it. I mean, unless it's Beyonce in the stadium.
Yeah.
They
Is
love
it-
that. So
is there
I'm
more
I'm very
scope for
happy.
you? Sorry, is there
Say
more
what?
scope for you here then in Britain than there is in
Are you
New York?
kidding me? Look at what I'm doing
Mm.
already. It's
Would you not be
extraordinary.
able to do that in New York?
At one point, there's plenty of activity,
Yeah,
15 years ago. But as if you haven't noticed well, I'm going to go out on a limb and say call it the decline. If you haven't, I mean, we can all chronicle the decline. We're seeing it. This is
yeah,
an incredible, it's a very interesting time in history, in world history, as you watch, you know, America was it the youngest country in the world, right? You know what I'm saying? It's like watch it literally fall into the sea. You know, that's what's going on. I'm not going to pretend that it's not. And Americans did it to themselves. They chose this route. I won't mention his name, but you know who I'm talking about. He didn't roll down the street in tanks and say, "I'm taking over."
yeah,
No, people put him there.
yeah.
And so anyway, yeah, man, I am I literally I'm grateful to have escaped with my life.
Wow.
And no, that's not an exaggeration. That's not an exaggeration. I went back into to New York, and I just realized I have to leave. This is terrifying for me. As a human being first, as an artist, you know, as a black man,
Yeah.
hazardous to my health. So I've been very fortunate. I've gotten a lot of support from people over here. And so I'm here and I'm happy.
Well, we're
Very,
very,
very, very grateful.
very happy to have you here, Thomas.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. But that being said, I'm not the first forward-thinking black artist from America to flee. Josephine Baker, James Baldwin, Jimi Hendrix. I mean, there's a list.
Yeah,
Okay, there's a list of people who have at least gotten out of America and were able to experience a certain amount of appreciation and genuine interest in their work, and enjoy a lifestyle that is not. I mean, I'm not saying that England is perfect. I mean, I'm not going to mention any names there. Obviously, there is no utopia. You know what I mean?
no,
But the whole thing with what's going on in the U.S., it's like enough already, man. I don't want to hear about this guy anymore. I'm sick. It's like
yes. Yeah, we see enough of it here, so I can
and
appreciate.
you know what? Now that I'm here, right, there's some distance and perspective. It's a lot, but it's not even half of what it's like when you're there. When you're
Yes.
there, it's like
Mm.
it's really oppressive, man.
Yeah.
It's really, really oppressive. I mean,
Yeah,
without going any further, this is the building blocks of fascism. Okay, that's what it is.
yeah.
All right.
It does seem that way.
Yeah. So thank you for the warm welcome.
Oh,
I
you're very
appreciate
welcome.
it.
I'm just
This
wondering how we can find out more about your new EP.
Oh man, just go to all
Where?
social media stuff. Tomás Doncker, True Groove Records, Tomás Doncker and the True Groove All Stars. My website, tomasdoncker.com. I'm out there, man. I'm out there. I'm out there. TOMASDONCKER. If you can get close enough to that, it'll pop up.
Oh,
You'll see it.
I've got a bonus question for you
Ah, drum roll, cymbal
from
crash.
the guy who set up
Playing.
Jazz London Radio, Laurie Burnett, and he says he thinks he remembers you playing in a band called Defunct.
Oh, yeah.
Is that true? Is that right?
That is very true.
Oh, so he's spot on there then.
Yes, he is. He's right on. Um, without giving the whole history lesson, but yeah, Defunct and James White and the Blacks and those very seminal New York City punk funk bands is where I grew up.
Oh, wow.
I grew up in that scene, and uh, I'm on the Defunct album in America. I believe that's the one I'm on that one, but I played with them off and on for years, and we were all in James White and the Blacks, aka the Contortions. It's a whole New York downtown scene that we were a part of. And yes, I was a member of Defunct many years ago.
Oh, wow. Oh, well, that's thanks for answering that. Laurie
Yeah,
will be pleased to have the answer.
yeah, man, for sure, for sure.
Well, anyway, thanks very much for bringing us up to date on Tomás Doncker and the True Groove All Stars and what you're doing at the moment. And it's very sad reasons that you're here, but we're very glad that you are here.
No, thank you so much, man. Thank
And
you.
I'm
I appreciate that.
looking forward to seeing you play. I've already seen you once this year, but I hope to see you later in the year.
Absolutely. We got tons of shows. We'll be in touch, Richard. I'll
Yeah,
get you
okay.
in. We'll hang out.
Um,
We'll have a pint. Okay.
that would be nice.
All
Any-
good.
Well, I'd like to finish with playing your uh, "Hard Is Hard" track, the title track of your new EP. So
All right.
we'll play out on that.
All right. Cool. Cool,
Okay.
man. All right.
Thanks for your time. Great to
Thank you
talk
so
to
much.
you.
I really appreciate it, man.
Take
And
care,
peace to
Tomas.
y'all out there,
Okay.
Jazz London Radio. All right.
Okay. Bye.
Ciao. Bye bye.